No matter where you find yourself sitting the most, whether it's in an office chair, on the floor, doing hobbies, at school, driving, or even in an airplane, the most important key to proper sitting posture is this: your butt needs to be higher than your knees. This is contrary to the information you may have heard in the past, which advises your hips and knees to be level. The reason is simple. When your hips are higher than your legs, it naturally allows the low back to maintain its normal curve. When you do this, it will naturally allow the shoulders to sit back and keep the head back and prevent it from drooping. Here you have Michael sitting down without contemplating how his posture should be. If you look at where his hips are compared to his knees, they are about even. And this is what I was talking about. This allows the low back curve to bend backwards or to be straight. And once that happens, it allows the shoulders to slump forward and the head potentially can droop forward too. Now here, I've had him drop his knees down by bringing his toes behind here, and his hips are higher than the knees. And this allows the low back curve to go at a little more natural of an angle, and that keeps the shoulders and upper back from slumping. Let's refer to our previous example of your spinal cord being a rubber band. This is a posture which seriously lengthens the spinal cord and stretches it. That's this posture right here, is going to lengthen your spinal cord. If you've ever noticed that your upper back and your lower neck gets tight as the day goes on at your desk, or you get these headaches that start at your base of your skull and kind of creep up over the top of your head, then you've experienced this phenomenon firsthand. Now, the brain is attached to the inside of all these bones of your skull and to the bones of your face. And since your brain is at the top of the spinal cord as it comes out of your neck here, you can get headaches from that ongoing tension of your head jutting forward. But that same stretching of the cord can cause the other nerves that branch out of the neck to stop working also. So if you've ever gotten numb hands or fingers, especially after sitting while you're at your computer typing, then you can be sure that bad sitting posture is making an existing structural problem worse. I'll share with you a quick personal story about what bad sitting posture can do to you. I used to play French horn in the Denver concert band, and we had dress rehearsal one weekend for several hours, plus the time we spent during the concert. Well, we used those folding metal chairs all weekend, and even though my back wasn't really hurting by the time the concert was over with, it didn't really feel quite right either. But boy, was my stomach ever hurting. It was in knots and I was having abdominal cramps, bad enough where I was concerned that I might have appendicitis. So on a Sunday afternoon, I went to an after-hours acute medical care place and paid their after-hours rates to make sure everything was okay. Well, they ran several tests and confirmed that I was fine, but that didn't make me feel any better. So I tracked down one of my chiropractor friends, and he met me at his office on a Sunday evening, and he adjusted me, and after that, within an hour, I was almost 100% better. This was before I myself knew these posture instructions. So I teach you this information to save you lots of money in the future that otherwise you would have to spend in my office for adjustments, at the medic's office, or even worse, at the surgeon's office, wondering if there's something terribly wrong with yourself. If you have a symptom that worsens after a period of sitting, take note of where you were and critique yourself on these points. I can get you fixed up the next time I see you, but you will need to change your sitting posture in order to keep those symptoms from returning. First, make sure the height of your chair is tall enough for your height. If you're in a pinch and you have to use a shorter chair, then try putting your feet behind your knees. That will automatically get you into better posture. So Michael, you can demonstrate by putting your feet behind your knees. Thank you. Then, if the seat of your chair has an adjustment to tilt this part up, adjust it until you get the least amount of slumping. Sometimes you may need to readjust the height right here if this changed you dramatically. Now this chair is big enough for Michael, but if you were 6'5", this chair might be too little, and you may have a hard time getting into the correct posture. So having the right height is going to help you maintain the proper sitting posture overall. Now, like on our office chair, it does not have a mechanism that really allows this butt part to tilt very much. And most chairs aren't going to have that, most places you sit. So the solution for that is our foam sitting wedge. If you're not a patient, just compare rotating the wedge forward on one side and then the other. One side should be noticeably more comfortable. If you don't have a wedge, then try using a hand towel folded up several times or a magazine under one side of your butt cheeks. Now, after you have this part angled correctly, you will want to fine-tune the chair back right here. Now, my chair doesn't have a mechanism to push this in. If you have an office chair at work that does, then try unscrewing it and pushing this chair back in to meet up with your low back. But what works just as well is if you have any kind of throw pillow you can put back there, that will help give this low back some support and keep you from slumping backward into the chair. Okay, if you're sitting on your couch and you just sat down unconsciously without thinking about it, this is probably how you would look. What I recommend is to at least put a throw pillow behind your back and see if you can't prevent that amount of slumping that Michael's got going on there. So, Michael, why don't you grab that pillow and put it behind your back. Okay, does it feel like you're slumping like that?
Not as much.
Okay, good. Okay, here's a typical posture you'd find yourself in if you're watching TV and there's not enough room on the couch in your house or you're at a friend's house. You can see how reversed Michael's whole spinal column is there. So one remedy is to take a big throw pillow and sit on that. So go ahead and grab that, Michael. And then put another pillow behind your back. Okay, so when he slumps, see how much straighter he's sitting? And that's going to cause a lot less pulling and tension on his spinal cord.